Hey guys, Miss Jaeger here, and welcome back to World of Tanks. Woo! Now, for some reason, despite it being the 8th of January, we're still celebrating the New Year's thing. I imagine it'll probably change by about the 10th, but anyway. So today, I thought we'd have a look at the free gift tank that World of Tanks has given out to us. And having watched the video promising from the, at least from the NA section, that it is not a free garage slot, I had some hopes that this particular vehicle isn't going to be any shit. Well, that said, okay, I'm probably going to be one in the minority here, but I'm not such a big hatred. I don't have such hate for this thing. In fact, I like this thing. Many of you, if any of you have watched my review of it, you'll no doubt know that this thing isn't half bad, given the right circumstances. But that said, I'm not the kind of person who likes every tank because it's free. I have already removed a number of free tanks, two in particular which I loathe beyond reason: the T6, T1E6, and the T7 combat car. Waste of space, those two are. Anyway, so today I thought we'd have a look at this thing, a nice little quick review for you guys. If in case you have this thing, you haven't either sold it already, or you haven't really had a go at it because, well, let's face it, it's a tier 3, and you might be grinding I vehicles. Is it worth keeping, or is it not worth keeping? Well, this review may convince some of you to sell this tank, and this review may convince some of you to keep this tank, but I'm going to say it's a borderline tank. And when I say borderline tank, I mean it's basically, there are aspects about this tank that are good enough that it's not completely terrible, but there is one major flaw which, personally for me, puts this thing on the border of me not liking it, or me wanting to get rid of it, because as much as it's a good little fun tank to drive around in, its main ability to earn money and credits is kind of flawed in a way, and I'm kind of a bit annoyed at Wargaming for producing it in this fashion and seemingly not balanced it correctly. What do you mean? Well, let's get into the review first of all. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start with some hit points. You have 230 hit points, the same amount of hit points as the LTP. Now there are going to be certain things about these two tanks that I will compare between the two, even though technically there's a clear difference between them. They're mainly for the balancing issues and what I personally see. But anyhow, so you have 230 hit points, which means that definitely is not a brawling tank. She's not really, yeah, she's like, it's not a terrible amount. It's not, you know, it's not a great amount either. So it's kind of towards the lower end of the spectrum. So certainly be careful, even in the early stages of the game, as potentially one shot may cripple you for the rest of the match. You weigh 9.65 tons with 2 equipment modules attached. You have a maximum tonnage limit of 12 tons. This, in combination with your engine power of 155, gives you a top speed of 45 kilometers, though it does feel a bit sluggish, I'm not going to lie. I mean, its horsepower per ton is, let's have a look-see. Yeah, its horsepower per ton is 16.06, and it's good, it's fast. Like, it gets up to the top speed, I suppose, relatively quickly, but there's just something when you're driving the thing, in my opinion at least, it kind of feels a bit sluggish at points. Like, just as you're getting off, you know, kind of not so quick and snappy like your average light tank with a high kilometers per hour speed limit. You do get a nice traverse speed, though, of 45 as well, so that's quite nice to deal with when you're dealing with dangerous situations, so that is of some benefit. Now, going down to the armor. Yeah, this is a true light tank form. The armor you have is utter, well, it's a bit pants, but that said, there are some good aspects to it. 35 on the front, 13 to the sides, 10 to the rear. The turret armor is not too bad. I mean, you've got 35 to the front, 25 to the sides and rear. Now, the one good thing about this tank is that you do get some early stages of angling at the front, but it's not exactly like it's going to be too hard to find the big flat weaknesses on the turret or the sides, and most of the time at tier 3 you're going to be encountering stuff which might counteract it anyway. If you're top tier, then definitely you can take advantage of that, because some guns may not go through your frontal armor. But apart from that, don't try and like take on a tier 3 equivalent, because it's a high chance he'll just probably pen you from either the weak spot here or the turret or there. You know, this tank can still get penetrated even with the angling. Now, on to view range and signal range. Now, for view range, unfortunately, this thing isn't very good. It only has 270 view range, so yeah, not very good at all. It's kind of worse even when you're training the crew, because I've put the crew up to 75%. I always do that for my crew. Even if it's like on a shitty tier 3 thing, always put your crew up to 75%, because otherwise the tank is garbage, regardless of how good it is on the stats. So yeah, 270 view range is not very good, especially in open areas. You do run the real risk of being spotted and shot at before you even had a chance to identify where the shots come from. So certainly not a good idea for you to be in the open with this vehicle for too long. For signal range though, it's not bad. You get a decent quality 400 meter signal range, which admittedly it's not an astoundingly great amount, but regardless, it does kind of it fits within the realm of averageness, if you will. It's not an astoundingly great radio, but it will serve you if you need it to, given the match and circumstances. So for view range, not great, could be better, and the signal range in the realms of averageness. Now, onto the gun. Now, the gun is probably my biggest complaint of the entire tank, and there's a couple of reasons in it, one of which is my own personal sort of taste in a vehicle, but also something which I personally feel is it's not very well balanced, really. In my opinion, it could be a number of reasons behind it, but this is definitely the thing that might prompt you to sell this vehicle, to not, to keep it, or to not even worry because, you've already sold the thing, so what does it matter? But for me, this is the thing that keeps me on the borderline edge, because it really does affect at least my personal performance. The gun that you will have with this particular tank is this, the 40mm 37-42 M.L45. It's a 40 caliber pistol, because that's huge. 40 caliber cannon, 15 rounds a minute, 64 penetration on the standard, 80 penetration on the premium, 45 alpha, 0.43 accuracy, and a 2.1 second aiming time. Now, my biggest complaint with this gun is not the alpha, nor the pen, nor the damage, or anything like, nor the dispersion or the aiming time. My biggest complaint with this gun is the rate of fire. 15 rounds per minute. At the moment, because my crew isn't 100%, they're more or less there, but they're not 100%. It's at zero. It's the rate of fire is at a 4.4 second reload. Now, what I find is an issue with this is the accuracy and aiming time of this thing alone means that you're not guaranteed to hit the target you're looking at every time. And even with the enhanced gun laying drive, which we'll go into later, it still can be a bit of a struggle. So what really annoys me and frustrates me is how this gun has such a crap rate of fire. It really is a crippling thing for me. But what annoys me even more is that there's another tank which, as I said, we'll be comparing the two later on, is this LTP, which we're going to compare because those two are roughly the same tank. They both share similar traits, and I think they both have, I think, I'm not going to, if you will, because it's a gift tank, you can't really say that it needs to be better than, but these two tanks are immensely similar. So the LTP Tier 3 light tank has a 45mm cannon. And now there will be things about this gun that aren't as good as the Toldi, that the Toldi is better on, but I guarantee there's one thing that this gun has that makes this tank way more enjoyable to play than this one. So let's get them up. So let's go here, and let's go here. So on the left is the Toldi 43, and on the right is the 45mm 20KL. The caliber of the 20KL is 45, so naturally you're going to get, the penetration is not as high on the standard shell, so the Toldi does win. It does have 4mm more, though, on the on the 40mm there, so 84mm more premium penetration. The alpha is naturally going to be larger, which is understandable. Now the Toldi does beat the LTP on accuracy. The aiming time is the same for both, but one thing that the KL has more than the freaking 40mm is the rate of fire. It's 5mm larger in caliber than the Toldi, and yet it has a faster firing rate than the Toldi. And it just, in my eye, I'm not going to pull the Russian biasness in it, because let's face it, that argument's been played many a time, and wargaming, as much as I would say there are still elements to their biasness, IS-3 auto, it's not that biased, if you will. It's not, there isn't, most of the time now, it's more or less balanced. RNG-wise, still a bit broken, but still balanced with most tanks. So, my biggest complaint of this is that why is this gun, which is larger in caliber, fire faster than this gun, which is smaller in caliber? Now, I'm not saying you need to make it as fast as the 20KL or faster, but my biggest complaint, which I think if they just buffed the rate of fire from 15 to, say, 19 or 20, I personally think that would be fine. I think that would be more than okay, and that the accuracy is fine, the alpha is fine, the pen is fine, everything except the rate of fire is fine for a gift tank. You know, the accuracy is pretty terrible. You do need the enhanced gun laying drive. That just is a given. But I think if they just increase the rate of fire to about 19 or 20 rounds per minute, that will be suitable. You know, yes, it means that you won't get much accuracy, but then when you make that shot and it does miss, then you have the ability of knowing, right, I've now got this gun alongside. And it is quite crippling because, you know, for example, you may want to try and attack an artillery piece, and because you have a 4-second reload in my case, or you might have like just over 3 seconds, it means that you don't get the benefit of being able to utilize your tank in a better way, because, well, by the time you reload maybe for your second or third shot, he'll be dead by someone else, or you'll have died because someone comes in to save them. So I think for this tank, everything else is pretty much falls into the realm of averageness. Just the gun is the crippling factor with that. I mean, even the gun is more or less okay. It's just that rate of fire. That, for me, is the biggest problem with this gun, because it's just too slow. It is just absolutely shit when it comes to rate of fire. Okay, so let's go now on to crew skills and equipment. This is basically where I tell you what stuff you need to put on your tank to make it awesome, and what skills you need to equip your crew to make them epic. Now, for your skill tree, let's have a look at your commander first. Now, because this tank, in this tank, your crew perform multiple roles, the commander performs the role of both commander and radio man. And this kind of provides a nice benefit, because the first skill I would recommend you get, if you're willing to keep this vehicle, is to give him situational awareness. This basically extends the view range. I don't know why, but that's the case. So you now have basically a better view range for your vehicle, and that'll hopefully, when you train it up to 100%, then you can drop that skill for the Sixth Sense, so that way then you know when you've been spotted. Once you've done that, highly recommend you then restart retraining towards situational awareness. Once you've done that, anything else you really want to go for, repairs, mentor, recon, whatever, just anything to try and improve improve the view range of your vehicle. Going to Gunner, I would highly recommend you train him in Snapshot. He also acts as the loader, but there isn't really any loading kind of skills you need to worry about, so you don't really need to worry about that. But what I would recommend is definitely train him up in Snapshot, because of the terrible accuracy and horrendous aiming time of your gun is there. Snapshot would be a good idea, because then that way at least it would perhaps give you a chance of getting a better shot if you have to quickly turn your turret around. Once you've got that to 100%, maybe swap that for Deadeye, then instantly start retraining for that, and afterwards it's up to you really what you want to go for. And finally, the driver, who only has the driver's skill. I would highly recommend one of either two skills. Either you start off with off-road driving, which reduces the ground resistance when you're driving on moderately soft or soft terrain, because, well, let's face it, any extra and accelerational factors will be very useful. Or, because of the terrible accuracy of the gun, once again, because of the crippling rate of fire, you may want to go with something like Smooth Ride, so that way there's always a chance, if you have to shoot on the move, it gives you that extra little hope that you will be penetrated and you will fire and hit your target. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that's everything else. Kind of not really important. You've already got a decent traverse speed, and then maybe train them up in repairs once you've done it. But these two skills, I highly recommend you train first. Okay, so with that said, let us jump into a couple of live battles, as I haven't really got any decent replay footage for you, and hopefully you can see the good aspects as well as the bad ones of this vehicle. So, here we are in our first game. I am in my Toldi, and the matchmaking has gone to hell in a hacksaw. We have basically got the tier 5s. Yay. So, maybe because of the rate of fire that these tanks will have, I might have a fairly decent chance as well, let's face it. Everything else... I mean, good, look how small this thing is. I'm next to a... Oh, wow, this thing is tiny. It makes the Panzer III look big. And that's saying something. Hell, the Hetzer looks roughly a decent size as well. This is crazy. Oh, how I wish I could be you, Mr. Marder 38T. Your gun actually does something. Get into another tank that isn't an AMX-40. Oh! No, that's the heavy route line. We're not heavies, we're not heavies, we're not heavies. Well, that said, he's probably going to fare better than me. But not because he's a tier up, and because, you know, the AMX-40 does have some good quality traits with its armor and its gun when it does decide to work. He also has the benefit of it being sort of a... It kind of helps... It's very easy to understand what its strengths and weaknesses are, the AMX-40. With this one, it's like it's got all the advantages of a fast, light tank without the ability to fight effectively. I'll let these guys go first because they all seem to be in charge. We are taking some fire. So... Artillery isn't present, so I think that was a BT-7 artillery. Yeah, so here he comes. He popped a shot, and that guy's going to get swamped. And he's gone. That guy had the derp. I think I can shoot. I think the T-34 could shoot over me. That's how small I am. Can he? Yes, he can. Oh, hello, OI. We're fucked. I don't know. Side armor? If this gun would like to work. Yeah, no. I have a horrible feeling that this game it might not go towards our entire advantage. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying something. The front and rear of the armor is terrible. Yeah, no, yeah, I meant to say on the but never mind. I'm just going to back away because he's got a big gun. There's no hope going around there because they're going to get ribbed. The OI is making a push. No, he's showing side. Aim, 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 aim. Aim, standard shot. Will bounce. I'm loading the premium now. 80mm of penetration. Nothing. Try again. Nope. And he's gone. And we've just been outflanked. This is a tier 5 game. I am in a gift tank. There is very little I can do to change the outcome of this match. In all honesty, trying to play this tank, because I've on numerous occasions attempted to record, and all I have found is disaster after disaster after disaster. And it's really starting to annoy me, because it's like, I should be able to at least drive around and have a bit of a laugh and poke a few holes in a bunch of tanks. But because of how bad this gun's rate of fire is, it just doesn't want to work. I've been spotted. Oh, look at that. My first actual damage of this match. So, if we turn around now, because the M4 Sherman's going to be harassing, it's going to be wondering what's going on. If I can more or less hide myself. The game is kind of going well-ish for us. Not had any damage done to me yet, but I want to see if I can find those guys. View range is going to suck here. Oh! Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Reverse, you fat fucker. There we go. Turning traverse. Go, you fat bastard. Oh, by the way, a word of warning. If you, for some reason, get caught on a building or a rock whilst attempting to escape... Oh, come on, move, you slow hog. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Right. Try and do... There's the Su-85. He's going to pop a shot. I don't want to do it this way. Right, the KV-1's doing it that way. I'm loading the premium. Hurry the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Right. Where are you? There you are. It... What? Won't even damage the treads. GG. Come on, move! Oh! Jeez, this is like an immensely tense fight going on here. I cannot believe I bounced that. That is RNGesus saving my ass right there. Right, now we gotta play hanky-panky. Which side are you going? You're going that side, so if I position myself as such, when you try and come around the bend...
Enemy armor is hit.
Oh, he's playing it wise now. He knows I can't move. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's not trying to follow. Whatever I do, he'll be paying attention to. And unfortunately, this tank hasn't got a forward-facing gun. Am I unspotted? Fuck it all. Can I get a cheeky shot inside his...
Enemy armor is damaged.
Right, we can't do this. We're kind of... I'm screwed. Give it... Oh, really? This guy in the AMX-40 is the reason why I'm not liking AMX-40s. Come on. Try it. Try it. Try it.
Ricochet.
Oh! Oh my god! I can't believe he actually went for that. I apologize to anyone wearing headphones. I will naturally edit it out. But what? Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was funny. Oh. Oh, that was just funny. Oh. I mean, I have no hope in hell of winning this game, but fucking hell. Yeah, this player really could fuck off. Fuck, I can't even talk. Oh, really? Yeah, fair enough. No hope. I can try and stop the cap, but I doubt it. Oh, that game. Oh, jeez, that was fun. Fuck that 40 guy, though. Like, seriously. He's a bit of a twat, because... Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to keep this in the game. I don't get to do much, because unfortunately this tank is just garbage when it comes to its gun, but I will try. For some reason, the other guy's running around. I'm kind of wondering why. He's probably going to spot me before I spot him. So, yay, nay. Premium shells firing, and I'm dead.
We're dead for. Everyone get out.
Fuck you, 40. Seriously, go fuck yourself. What a twat. I might report that guy for being a bit of a twat, because fuck that guy. Seriously, fuck you. I'm gonna be honest to him. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Fuck that guy. But that game, apart from that douchebag of an AMX40 driver, that was funny. I'm keeping that in. But yeah, oh my god. I can't believe he did it. I'm like, hang on a second. Will he do it? And then he did. Ah, oh, glorious. Anyway, I'll see you in another game. And so here we are in our second and last game. This time we are on the map Himmelsdorf, and unfortunately we are also in Tier 4 environment. So my gun is not going to do well here. And yeah, having played this tank a fair amount now, I think I can already tell that this tank is going to be one of those ones I might just sell. I mean, it's nice, I suppose, but I don't know where to go. Not many people are going up north. There's a fair amount of tier 3s and stuff. I might go north. Like, not much hope. Actually, no. You know what? No. Since nobody's going up north, it's kind of pointless going up there as well because, well, let's face it. Oop. There's a T-15 making a desperate break for the middle line. See if we can surprise him. Hello! Wow, he did more damage to me. He's focusing on that guy at the moment.
Enemy is hit.
You shall not have a kill here, sir. Wow, that guy is incredibly late to the party. See, 85 versus 65. Yeah, yeah. It's a type of 95 in the middle. We can't really push, can we? Because he has sight lines, I think. Oh no, he's hitting. I mean, I've loaded the premium because at this point the game is kind of, we are a high tier environment, so it's, well, I say high tier environment for this vehicle. And there's a Hetzer. I'm within a one-shot range if he does get me. So he looks like he's got the good gun of the Hetzer tank, because I know there's there's a lot of Hetzer drivers out there who do use the 105, and sure it might work, but reload. Ah, come on. And he's gone. Wow, yeah, this thing sucks for height. See if we can get a pop shot at that Hetzer. He's got extremely angled armor, but we might just get a shot. Oh, it's a stock gun. Load the premium. No chance, no chance, unless I get a miracle shot into his track line, maybe? Yeah, no, that is not going to work. Okay, let's see if we can outflank him. He's kind of pinned into one corner, so if I make a break across the middle section, we might get lucky. I say might. Even then, there's no guarantee that my rate of fire is going to help me in this case. But there are other tanks about. Right, the Hetzer is paying attention to the other one. Hetzer is going to pop over there. There's a Toldi III. Pop shot, pop shot, pop shot. He's down. Pull back, pull back. Luckily, his rate of fire is so shit, I'm hopefully going to avoid getting shot again. There we go. Hetzer tank is going to pop a shot there. Hit again. He's going to get killed now. DW2. Right. See if we can pop a shot against this DW2.
We didn't even scratch them.
Oh boy.
Penetration.
It's penning, which is a small mercy. And I set him on fire. Huzzah! Can I get another kill? There we go. And I'm somewhat boned. Take my time, take my time, take my time. Bollocks. And I'm dead. Yep. Ah. One freaking shot. Ah. I think we're going to win this one. Don't leave cap. No! Oh, you idiot. There we go. because no one's going to be driving in. No one's going to be going in to save them until it's too late, so it's better for us to win that way. Finally, one loss, one win. This is the first win in like 5 games now. So I'm happy. With results like these, I'm happy. We've got a burn to death. I nearly got the Combinator. But yeah. And there you go. So my best result in my Toldi 3. So, well, I got an Ace Mastery badge for my first game. But then again, I was fucked over by the rest of the team, and I only got a lot. I think I've only got an Ace Mastery badge because I ended up killing, I ended up being relatively the most aggressive, but yeah. So, there you have it. The 43M. As I said, this vehicle is a borderline tank, and I keep switching my opinions on whether or not I am going to sell it. Some games I'm thinking, yep, by the end of this I will sell it and I will never have to worry about it again. But then when I finish the game and come to look at it, I think maybe the next game will be slightly better and maybe it will teach me another thing about it that I wasn't previously aware of. I honestly cannot say that this thing is a good tank. Everything about it is average really. It doesn't really excel in any one big department. But it does have an incredibly big flaw, which personally I think is a little bollocks regarding the rate of fire on this gun. I'm just saying it in my opinion. I think they need to improve the rate of fire on the gun because, I'm sorry, it's not right. You know, I don't even need to say I'm sorry. It's not right. It should be faster because other gift tanks fire faster. So anyway, with all that said, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this kind of content, do let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button, and of course subscribing to the channel. And I will catch you guys next time. This is Miss Jaeger, signing out.